So youth often complain of not having a say in society, that their voice is not heard. As a young person yourself, how do you feel that you're capable of bringing about change in your community, and that you can rise up and have your voice actually heard and respected?
I think to start off, I mean, as youth, I think we're incredibly lucky, especially growing up in Canada, that we are respected as youth so much. There are many programs out there that do empower youth, and give youth a chance to have a say in their future, which in many ways is a positive thing. Well, on the other hand, it also does give youth too much freedom, and there is, you know, there are issues in terms of youth being sort of, you know, not having, I guess, you know, a specific set of you know, not having a specific place in society that youth in other countries, for example, in England, have. In England, they streamline you at a very young age into a category, much like the old English feudal system, where you were a peasant, a merchant, or a noble for your life. They still have a system that is somewhat like that, although there are lots of titles associated with it. But you know, in England, for example, you know what kind of job you were going to have at a very young age, and it does give you some direction, and it does provide a certain structure that allows you to go within that structure, and not it doesn't allow you to strive any higher than that given structure, but it will. You will be limited to a certain structure, and you won't be totally off anywhere trying to find your place in the world.
Now, if you're still on age, 40 million people have died of AIDS in the last 20 years alone, and more people are continuing to die in low-income countries where AIDS is very pervasive, and when there's a lack of proper sanitation and health standards to address the problems that are currently occurring. So what do you think that we can do, both as individuals in our own communities and on a more global stage, in pressuring our government to take more action? What do you think this action consists of, and how do you think we should go about in demanding that things be done?
That's a big question. I could talk about that a little bit. No. Yes. There's not one answer. There certainly isn't. You must go at AIDS from a multifaceted approach. I'll wait to talk about that. AIDS does affect everyone, and it is something that, you really have to work at it from a multifaceted approach, otherwise it'll never be solved. You need to do different approaches in developing countries, you need to do different approaches in developed countries, in developed nations, and I mean, I think the internet is a very powerful tool with regards to spreading, information about AIDS, but that doesn't work in every country because not everybody, still not everybody has internet access. There are, thousands of people in the world don't have that, but I think the internet is a very powerful tool that could ultimately, in the future, have very big impact on the outcome of spreading information about the prevention of AIDS, because that's the only way that it's going to happen. Yes, maybe they will find a cure, but drugs are not the answer because they just fuel corruption and they fuel more greed and companies that want to basically exploit people and they don't care that it's money. So drugs are not the answer.
And do you feel that your government is giving enough money, is it involved, and actually just involved to providing aid and pharmaceutical drugs that will help to eradicate, somehow prevent the spread of AIDS?
Not at all. But I think when I look at this from a very, from an ethical perspective as to, I guess, in terms of value judgment, what is most important to fund. We do have a limited amount of money as a country, as people, as individuals, whatever, but it's really, at a specific given moment, what needs the most, help. And if we can get to, I know it's not quite, every problem does impact another. AIDS impacts poverty, which impacts people, happiness, which impacts their desire to help other people. It is a cycle, but I think we need to ultimately find, possible. One thing that really impacts the cycle is able to break the cycle, because some things, if you just take it, it's like taking it off the top of the cycle. It's not going to impact the rest of the cycle.
Let's take a look now at the environment.
Yeah.
In the media, a lot of negative images have been directed towards CO2 production, global warming, climate change, how species are soon becoming eradicated, how ecosystems are going to be destroyed and being wiped off the planet. And in a way, a mentality has been created that our generation has a very particular and very singular mandate, and an almost special burden of preserving the environment and making sure that we solve the problems we've inherited from our parents, and that it is our duty, our prerogative to clean this up, because if we don't, the world eventually will go to hell, and the next generation is not going to be able to handle it. Now, how does this make you feel? And do you feel that you have some sort of solemn obligation towards being proactive towards the environment and upholding its integrity?
Well, the world is going to hell. It's not our prerogative. It's not anyone's prerogative. It is everyone's prerogative, I guess. Even the people who are still, who are our parents, the last generation, last two generations, and whatever the other one is. And that whole, yeah, it's still their responsibility. They can't just kick back and buy SUVs or whatever. They, until they die, actually until their body is fully decomposed, they have to stop continuing to pollute the environment. It's not just our burden. It's not, as you, yes, I think we have been projected as, needing to do something, and I think you do have the power to inspire, at least inspire older generations, for sure, if we can get our act together, but, I mean...
And do you feel that it's fair that you and other young people are now being asked to make sacrifices in terms of your lifestyle, what you can buy, how much energy you can consume, in order that you might solve this problem and not hand it on to another generation?
Yeah, we're being asked to. We're not being forced to. I think that's what's important. We're being asked to make our own value judgments about that. I'm not mad at people who buy SUVs. I think they're stupid because they're paying a lot of money for something that is just meant to look good, but it's a value judgment. That's all it is. If you want to do that, that's fine. You can do that. I have no problem with that. It's not my personal choice.
All right. That's good. So last question. We're living in the midst of an economic recession, severity of which is second only to the Great Depression. And as we speak, millions of jobs are being lost throughout the world. Global economies are sinking, and major corporations are going bust. And experts say that these effects will resound to future generations and will continue to experience the outcome of what's happened. And so I'd like to ask, do you ever feel that you look towards the future with some degree of fear and uncertainty, that you doubt whether or not you'll be able to get job security, or you doubt whether or not you might be able to get a job at all?
No.
No?
I'll figure it out. It's not the end of the world. I think for people who work in sectors that are very labor related, that it's an issue. I don't plan to work in those sectors. If I have to, I will, but it doesn't really make sense because if construction is going down and building material prices are going up, then there's not going to be jobs in there, so I won't even look for jobs in that sort of sector. I think I don't think it's getting necessarily worse right now. I think, we just need to stop spending so much money on stupid things. I mean, that's for me. Like, I need to stop spending money on stupid things. I need to, and save more money. Because we've lost this concept in our plastic money society. We've lost the concept that we are, that there is a limit, because if it's a piece of plastic doesn't, nothing gets cut off a piece of plastic physically. We need something like that so we can actually see it, or feel it, or, feel our loss of money when we spend money. And hopefully that'll, wake us up and be like, oh yeah, we need to save money again, because, capitalism, will just go to hell, and, like the rest of the world, if we just keep spending money like this. Can't do that. There's no endless pot of money.
Well, thanks. You appreciate your time.
Thank you.